welcome to everyone here today as we are going to introduce to you in just a moment the man of the hour. I do have a few introductions that I would like to make first. There's a lot of elected officials in our room this morning. These are in no order. It's just as they came in the door, I wrote them down. So I would like to introduce those that are here. First, Tom Green County Judge Steve Floyd. He is here somewhere. He's the Texas Farm Bureau President. Good to have you, sir. We've got Rick Bacon. Rick is our Tom Green County Commissioner. He's running for an election. Liz McGill, our county clerk, is here. Hi, Liz. Alan Lee, he's the former mayor of the city of San Angelo. And I see our high sheriff back here, David Jones. Raise your hand. We have Pam Dutton here today, which is with Senator Charles Perry's office. Good to see you, Pam. And Judge Kenny Roberts is here somewhere. Raise your hand. Hello, ma'am. And, of course, our Republican chair, Mr. Jeff Betty. We have our Palm Branch County tax assessor here this morning, Becky Robles. She's sitting in the corner. Of course, our Chief of Police, Tim Boskis. Where are you, sir? We have our ASU President here today, Mr. Brian May. We have our Justice of the Peace, Kay Longett. Where are you, Kay? Good to see you. And we also have the head of our Development Corporation, Roland Pena. He's not elected, but he's a very important person in our community. And of course, last but not least, no celebration is in order in San Angelo, Texas without a few words from our honorable representative, Mr. Drew Darby.
Thank you. I'm going to be very brief, but I have to tell you, whenever I get a chance to be with the General, I want to take that opportunity. You're just about there, General. Tuesday it's going to be done. You're going to be our new governor.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, all my life's experience in the legislature has been about this man keeping his word. He's honored his commitment to this region and to this state time and time again. If you'll remember the FLDS and all the problems, he made a pledge to me in 2007 that he would stand by this community and stand and make sure the children of this state are protected, and he did so in the prosecution of all those folks. He kept his 18 in and got his job done. He's worked closely with me with regard to border security, immigration, voter identification, just every way he is committed to protecting the laws and the privacy and the rights of the state of Texas. And I have to, every time I get a chance, to say congratulations to you and thank you for your service to our state.
And it is my distinct privilege and pleasure now to introduce to you the man of the hour, Greg Abbott, a man with the education to lead our state, a man with the ability to lead our state, a man with the ambition and the desire to lead our state, to take us and keep us at the very pinnacle of independence and freedom that the other 49 states simply envy. A man that believes in the supremacy of God's laws, a man that believes in the Constitution of man's laws. It is my privilege and my pleasure to introduce to you the next governor of the great Lone Star State of Texas, General Greg Abbott.
I want to thank the mayor for preaching it. You were going, if you'd gone 5 more minutes, I'm sure I would have been able to get up and walk. And Representative Darby, it's great to be back with you again. It's been fabulous to work with you over these past few years. I look forward to continuing that work in a different role. And it is so good to be back in San Angelo, Texas, a place where I've been coming so often, a place that is so endearing, so warm, and so welcome.
And I love it here because I know that you support the fact that I wake up in the morning, I go to work, I sue Barack Obama, and then I go home. You all have seen firsthand, and I'm thinking in particular, owners of small businesses like the restaurant we're in right here. They are dealing firsthand with the heavy hand of an overreaching federal government, imposing too many laws and taking too much of your money. That is why I have sued the federal government so many times. One of those lawsuits was the lawsuit that I waged against Obamacare. I sued to stop Obamacare because I believed that it violated the Constitution. But also I could see in advance the disaster that Obamacare would pose here in America. We have seen the future of Obamacare, and it looks like VA care. What happened in VA care has been a disaster for the men and women who served in the United States military. We cannot let this disaster continue under Obamacare. What we need to do, we need to get bureaucrats out from the doctor-patient relationship and restore medicine to the way that it should be practiced. Also, as your Attorney General, I have elevated the Texas child support system to be ranked #1 in the United States of America. And you know that I fought all the way to the United States Supreme Court to defend the 10 Commandments monument on the Texas Capitol grounds, and we won, and that monument still stands today. More recently, as in right now, I've been fighting another battle, a battle that Representative Darby made reference to. It's a fight against Eric Holder to ensure that in Texas, in this election, we will have the photo voter ID law a requirement. Let me tell you, as Attorney General, I have prosecuted voter fraud across the state of Texas. We've had dead people casting votes, live people voting twice, foreign nationals registered to vote illegally. Voter fraud is real. It must be stopped, and we will continue this fight to ensure that we prevent cheating and illegal voting at the ballot box here in Texas. But now I am ready to fight for the future of Texas as the next governor of the Lone Star State. I wanted to come to San Angelo to emphasize to you the magnitude of the challenge and the battle that we're dealing with right now. You need to remember, as you walk around and talk to your friends and neighbors in San Angelo, you may think there's really not an election contest going on. But if you walk around neighborhoods in Fort Worth, or Dallas, or Austin, or San Antonio, or other parts of the state of Texas, you know Battleground Texas was put in this state by Barack Obama for one reason, and that is to turn Texas into Barack Obama's vision for the country.
Never. No.
Barack Obama's national field director, Barack Obama's national finance director, Barack Obama's national pollster, Barack Obama's deputy campaign manager, and Harry Reid's spokesperson are all here in the state of Texas to destroy the values of what people in San Angelo believe in. And I got to tell you, it's right here. It's right here also.
They're here.
Yeah.
They're here.
Well, they're messing with the wrong people coming to San Angelo, Texas. That's all. And it's not just that Barack Obama's team has come to Texas. The reality is that my opponent embraces and stands for. the philosophies and the ideals that we've seen pushed by Barack Obama. She's voted to raise taxes, specifically targeting seniors to pay more taxes. She's voted for increasing spending. Listen, we've seen the Obama administration take the United States of America and put it $18 trillion in debt. We cannot afford a liberal to be in charge of the bank account for the state of Texas. And we've seen the way in which my opponent has voted to impose heavy-handed regulations that would destroy the jobs in this state, especially in the growing energy sector. But maybe even worse, we've seen the way in which she has trampled the Constitution the same way the president has. She has voted to restrict Second Amendment rights. She took a position against keeping God in the Pledge of Allegiance. And as our agricultural members here will fret, she even was against tougher penalties for cattle thieves. This liberal ideology is wrong for the state of Texas, and I just want you to know, I will not let the next 4 years in Texas look like the last 6 years under Barack Obama, because we will win this election. And when we do so, we will carry on policies that Drew Darby has helped establish by keeping Texas #1 in the nation for job creation. You know, a direct beneficiary, actually a direct participant of that job creation have been the women we have in the state of Texas. There are more than 737,000 women-owned businesses in the state of Texas. Women rank second in Texas in the United States of America in women-owned businesses. As governor, I want to see women-owned businesses in Texas be #1 in the nation. Speaking of women, as I look around the room, it looks to me like there's probably more women than men in the room today. I am proud of the fact that Wendy Davis had it all wrong when she said she was going to win the women's vote, because right now I am winning the women's vote in the state of Texas. Now, another thing that we will do, we will ensure that we address the water needs that we have in this state and the transportation and road problems that we face. I know that you face some water challenges here, but know this. As a kid, I grew up in Wichita Falls. I know about water problems, and we will address those problems. But also, we will do something that Barack Obama has refused to do. We will do something working with Drew Darby here that the federal government has failed Texas and Americans on. We are going to step up and secure our border and enforce the rule of law in the state of Texas. Also, I see a new day for a brighter and better future for the next generation by us improving our schools more and better than what we've ever seen before. You know, whenever I come to events like this, I like to recognize two groups of people. Two groups of people who have been involved in transforming the United States of America more than anybody else. The reason why we are here today at a gathering like this, talking about the democratic process, is because of the men and women who've worn the uniform of the United States military. If there is anybody here who's ever worn the uniform of the United States military, would you raise your hand so we can recognize you and thank you for your service? Now there's another group. They may not have been on the front lines of battle, but they have been on the front lines of advancing the next generation in Texas. And those are our teachers. Is there anybody here in the room who is currently or formerly a teacher here in Texas?
Here.
Well, thank you for your service. Thank all educators for your service. I want you to know that my wife has been both a teacher and a principal. And we've seen firsthand the sacrifices that teachers make. We see that it's really more than a job, it is a calling. But also we've seen the way in which education can transform the lives of children so that they're able to do things their parents couldn't even dream of. And we will elevate education in Texas higher than it's ever been before. The way I see it, Texas is number one in the nation for jobs. Texas is number one in the nation for energy production. Texas is number one in the nation for exports. Texas is still number one in the nation for farming. By golly, the time has come to add another number one ranking. Texas should be number one in the nation for educating our children. We will help achieve that goal. Now, there's a lot of things that we will do to accomplish that goal. But some things that I want to point out is, I think it is incredibly important that we return control of the education system to where it belongs, and that is at the local level, and get all these one-size-fits-all mandates from Austin, Texas, off of your back and let teachers teach. And we will ensure that we will not allow a Common Core in the state of Texas. But you got to understand that none of these things are going to happen unless something else happens first. You have to go vote.
Yes.
If we're going to change Texas and keep Texas the best state, we need everyone to go vote. How many of you have already voted early? Wow. Of all the places I've been, I think you all do a better job. That's fabulous. But I know there's a few of you who still have not voted. If you have not voted, early voting is still open. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Friday. Don't wait till Tuesday. You know your parents told you don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. After I get through talking, buy some nice lunch right here, and then go cast your vote and make sure that we keep Texas going in the right direction. When you do that, when you cast that vote, I want you to know that you're going to be part of making Texas history. Because I want you to know that next Tuesday, which is 6 days and about 6 hours from now, I am going to announce history has been made in the state of Texas. Because at that moment, we will have won an election where my wife will be the first Hispanic First Lady in the history of the great state of Texas. I bring this up because I've seen through my multicultural family what I see in the multiculturalism that we have across the entire state of Texas. And that is, we are stronger because of the hard-working people we have in this state. And we have a pathway that will ensure that we keep Texas the #1 state and the #1 country in the history of the world. So thank you for the role you played. God bless you all, and may God